Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Soudley. Well, you know that because you've been here already. Please put your hands together for your host this evening, Nick Hill. Thank you. What would be really nice is if you kept the applause going till I actually managed to make it to this spot, rather than, oh, sod it, we've clapped a couple of claps. But we put all our effort in a few years ago for COVID. We can't give any more than we've given already. So this is different. Yeah, it's. I'm glad you've come in and taken up some of the front tables. And I'm glad you're here as the token young person, which is... Cheeky devil. What? Cheeky devil? Right, how old are you? 18, how old are you? Don't be rude. Oh no, we've got another... is that another youngster who's infiltrated the... No, not you. Because I've got to be honest, when I looked around, I thought, has a Saga coach party just pulled up out? No, I'm counting myself in that, but so don't worry about that. But this is lovely. Thank you ever so much for coming out to support your local community. So my name's Nick Hill. I'm your MC, which stands for Master of Ceremonies. I'm not, as some of you might be thinking, miniature chap. Can we just get that cleared up straight away? Right, okay. So what's happened now is you have become what we call in the trade a target. Because there was no need for that, was there? I was going to be nice tonight. I wasn't going to be evil. Oh, that's mild, isn't it? But listen, I'm dressed all in black because my wife said it's a slimming colour. Just clearly another lie she's told me, judging by that remark. So was that you, young man, at the back room?
Not me.
No, not you with the border terrier dog. Oh, it was Vince. Oh, I was looking at the man behind you with glasses. But it was you, Vince, was it? And you've brought your
dog
entertainment for the evening later on with you. That's
my only pal.
Boy or girl?
Boy.
What's his name?
Hamish.
Hamish. Oh, I've got an Irish terrier.
Oh, I had an Irish terrier.
Did you? This isn't going to turn into a dog conversation now. We're just going to... any advances on an Irish terrier? Anything better than that? I've completely lost where we were now. So if you've not been to a comedy night before, let me just explain what's going to happen. We've got 3 brilliant acts to you this evening, all very different in their own right. I'm going to chat to you for about another 5 minutes, and then we'll have your first act on, and they're going to do about 20 minutes, and then we'll have an interval for about 15 minutes, and we'll have your middle act, and then we'll have another interval, and then we'll have your headline act, and then you can all go off and do whatever it is you do in Soudley on a Friday night. Back on the Saga bus. Which, looking at your Facebook page, isn't a lot, is it really? There doesn't seem to be an awful lot going on in Soudley. Or is there? Well, Vince, would you like to be the spokesman for the group this evening? What happens in Soudley?
Well, we like to keep insects to ourselves.
I love this. I've just got internal heckling going on. That's absolutely brilliant. I'm really happy today. I've got to be honest, because I went for an ECG and it was all clear and it was fine. Because I know, but you know, it's like I've got to that stage in life where slightest little symptom, go on Google, and every symptom you've got is, well, you're going to die. And that's basically, we've got to that stage in life that if me and my wife go out, it's not like, oh, should we find where the bar is first? No, let's just see where the defibrillator is first. That's clearly more important. And the forest is, I've got to be honest, has played quite an important part in my comedy career, because I did my first comedy gig way back in, it was in 1994. At the Forest of Dean Theatre, and I've got the original programme from that day, which was this, right? And basically my dad was in the Lions Club and they were putting on a variety night, and he said, would you come along and tell a few jokes? And I was like, no, absolutely not. I've never done anything like it in my life. And he cajoled me into doing it. And just give you an example of how exciting this was, I was sandwiched, I was on third in the first half, I was sandwiched between the pupils of the Elizabeth Corney School of Dancing doing West Side Story and the Wye Valley Chorus, and the first half finished with the second Cinderford Guides and the first Rusbridge Brownies doing Around the Campfire songs, right? This was my introduction to show business. It didn't get much better in the second half because I was then sandwiched between Maple Beach doing a monologue. Do you know Maple Beach? Is it you? And the evening and I can't remember what this act was like, but the evening finished up with Audrey, Ray and Ben. Like, might have been Mary Mungo and Midgeville like that. But it was basically, I was just telling jokes. I've never done anything like it before. And it was at the Royal Forest of Dean Theatre. Lovely theatre, it was brilliant. Big stage, really bright lights, and I couldn't see a thing in the audience, couldn't see anything. And I was telling these jokes, and I was getting nothing. They were shit jokes, to be honest. It was brilliant. But then I did this joke, and all I could hear was and I said, "Oh, I'm glad someone's enjoying themselves." And that was pretty much the end of my set. And when the lights went up, there was about 4 mentally handicapped people sat on. Yes, that was my. And I just didn't know where to put myself. So I left stand up alone for about, 8 years. And then I did a gig at the Miners' Arms in Sling. Do we know where the Miners' Arms is? And that went well, that was all right. And then I got invited to a gig at Westbury Village Hall, and that was great. And I thought, right, I've done 2 gigs now, I've cracked this. And then I did a gig at the Royal Forest of Dean Golf Club, which was my 3rd gig. And there was a couple of blokes sort of sat fairly close by, and I was doing my stuff, and they were chatting. And I thought, oh, I know what to do. Oi, guys, do you mind just shutting up whilst I'm trying to do stuff? And they just went, yep. As soon as you say something funny, we will. And that was harsh, wasn't it? But this seems nice. This looks really lovely. Because not all gigs are like this. I did a gig in Swansea a couple of months back, 140, 150 miles down to Swansea on a wet Tuesday night, and there was not many people in. And I think the MC had overdosed on Live at the Apollo. He'd clearly been watching too much of that. Because I was backstage, and I heard him, "Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to go wild, I want you to clap your hands, stamp your feet, all and raise the roof as we welcome to the stage the brilliant, the fantastic Nick Hill." And I came out, and there were 4 people sat there. 4. There was a grandmother, the grandson, the mother, there was a guy sat behind them, and it turned out the grandson was going in the army, and both the grandmother and the mother were actually beside themselves. So that just ended up a bit like a counselling session, I've got to be honest. So I thought, well, I'll just have to leave those alone. So I said to the guy in the second row, "What's your name, mate? What's your story?" He said, "Oh, my name's Roger Moore." I thought, "Oh, brilliant. That's fantastic, comedy gold." And then he said, "But I've got mental health issues. I don't know what I'm doing here." I thought, "Oh, Jesus. I'm going to have to leave you alone." But I did a gig in a little village in the Cotswolds not so long back, and I just went on and said, "Oh, hi, my name's Nick Hill. Lovely to be here in Ashton Keynes." And this woman at the back went, "Excuse me, young man. I know it's spelled Keynes, Keynes. That's my wife coming home. That's my ring doorbell, sorry about that. But I can't turn it off, right? Because if I turn it off, it stops the music. And now I want to know what she's doing home at 8:10. Anyway. But I said, she's like, "I know it's spelled Keynes, Keynes, but here in the village, we prefer to pronounce it Keynes. Is that okay?" That's absolutely fine by me. Got to be honest, does make you sound like a bit of a pretentious cant. I've not been asked back, but to be fair, it was quite good advice because the following week I was doing a gig in Leclardet. Right, that's Lechlade for those that can't. Yeah, you're just looking at me completely. You've got no idea what's going on, do you? Do you feel a bit out of your comfort? Yeah, with all these
Careful.
people.
This is probably the first thing like this I've been to, maybe the second.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, I'm really glad you've made the effort. What I would advise you do is just have a look around you and see what happens when you don't work hard enough. Because this basically is your future. Not much to look forward to, is it, really? What do you do now?
I'm on an apprenticeship, machinist at SVP pumps.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. That's pretty. That's a comedy dead end. So thanks for that. And what do you hope to be when you've? Oh, I don't know. I'm fucking asking. I'm not interested, to be honest. No, that's really good. You're doing something constructive, whereas a lot of the people in here have clearly not done a lot. I mean, Vince obviously ended up being a lumberjack, which is. That was a cheap joke. Well, you had to go away.
This is designer next.
Is it? I'd ask for a refund if I was you. It might be designer next on top, but that's clearly Primark shirt underneath things. That's what. I like you already, and you're a dog person anyway, so that's great. I have got a dog, and we ummed and ahed about getting a dog. I mean, I absolutely love dogs, but the one thing I was really worried about before we got a dog was obviously the obligation to pick up their poo, which, as a responsible dog owner, you know, we do that. But it got me thinking, what must have that first dog thought when it saw its owners pick up its poo? And what I'd like to do for you now, it'll only take a couple of minutes, is just reenact that moment, okay? And for the purposes of this play, I'll play the part of the owner and of the dog and of the other person involved. I've got poo bags in the car, you're fine. And I think it would have gone something like this. What are you doing? You what? You're picking up my poo? Yeah, I can see that. Why are you doing that all of a sudden? All right. You have to now. Okay. What? Just once? Every time? Okay. And what are you gonna use? All right. That plastic bag looks a bit thin. Told you it was thin. And what are you going to do now? You're going to carry it like a trophy. Brilliant. I can't wait to get home to tell the cat. Can you imagine that? Dog gets home. Come here. Cat comes. What? He said, he has just picked up my poo. Well, I don't know if he'll do it for you. Yeah, but you've got that tray, haven't you, with grit in it? Yeah, look, I don't know, all right? I don't know. You'll have to give it a try, see what happens. About a week later, dog's out for another walk, bumps into his other doggy mate. You all right? He went, yeah, brilliant. You know that cat I was having loads of problems with? Yeah. He's gone. Why's that? Don't know. Started shitting all around the house for no reason. That's my only dog stuff I've got, Vin, sorry. So listen, I think, are we ready for our first act of the evening? So this young man, I've known him for years. I think he's absolutely brilliant. His name is John Wagstaff. Just repeat that back so I know you've got that. What's his name? Oh dear God. What we're going to do is if we can start the applause at the back of the room and then bring it all the way through. And please, this time, just keep clapping till he actually gets to the stage. Don't give up halfway like we did earlier on, that would be lovely. So if we can start the applause at the back of the room, bring it all the way